Peace, y'all. I just wanted to start this episode off with a quick disclaimer. This episode of Real Notes starts with a tribute to the late DMX, who passed away at age 50 this past Friday, May 9th. The episode was recorded around 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, May 8th, hours before the entire fake death controversy happened, and of course, nearly a day before X was taken off life support. Rest in peace to the icon Darkman X, for real. You meant so much to so many people, and we're thinking of you and your family during this extremely difficult time. Now back to the show. What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guests this week are rapper Fatboi Sharif and producer Roper Williams, two of New Jersey's finest. We spoke about memories of DMX, how horror movies inform Sharif's writing style, Roper's observations on the similarities between sequencing for albums and films, our favorite movie plot twists of all time, and the creative process behind their debut collaborative album Gandhi Loves Children. Come fuck with us. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to whatever number episode of Real Notes this is. I think we're at number 5. I'm pretty sure this is number 5. I could be wrong, but let's just go with 5. Maybe it's not. You'll see in the title. It's Dylan Green, CineMasai. I got names. Those are 2 of them, I guess. Welcome back. Thank you. I got 2 of Jersey's finest on my show tonight, which is super tight. We got fucking Fatboi Sharif and we got fucking Roper Williams in the place to be, which is here. We made it. I don't have any canned applause yet, but y'all can't. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I was about to say y'all can't see it, but y'all can see it, but Sharif's clapping right now. But yeah,
bro, what's good?
Yo, I'm cooling, man. How are y'all doing?
We doing beautiful, y'all. First thing, I want to just congratulate you on the show, bro, because fucking beautiful. Like, because it's funny because like people who might not know you like real close, like I've been knew you a movie buff, so I like the way you connecting your love for the music and movies and making it one big entity. So shout out to that for sure. Hell yeah.
Yo, thank you so much. The episode
been fired so far. I've been tapped into every. This is the 5th one, the 4th one, I think.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
It was J Words, Army Hammer.
Yeah.
The Seafood was last week. So yeah.
Oh, you forgot Lasso. So no. This is number 5. Okay. This is number 5.
Okay, Lasso. Yeah, Lasso was on the first one. Yeah.
But nah, like thank y'all for coming on my shit. Like I feel like this is ever since the project dropped, like this is something I've wanted to do. Like you guys were like very close to the top of my list of people I wanted. So yeah, this is.
Thank you, bro. Much love.
No, of course. But so we're gonna start this a little differently because I usually start it by asking the like what was your first movie experience thing. But I want to talk about Dogman X. I want to talk about DMX because he's been on my mind for the last couple of days, considering everything that's been happening with his addiction and him being in the hospital. We hope he's doing well. I hope he's doing well. I used to kick hella ass with him in Def Jam, so I just really hope he pulls through. You know.
Get well, X.
Yeah, for real.
For you.
I was just curious, like, what are y'all's like? Do y'all have like a relationship with DMX's music in that way? Like,
yeah, I would say, especially like from like the Belly era for like his first 2 albums, I definitely was fucking with his Dark and Hella side and like Flesh of My Flesh heavy, like kind of just like because me and my man's book was listening to like the Flesh of My Flesh album last night, and I'm like, damn. He was always dope to me, like the way he conveyed emotion, like how he would always have like the prayers at the end of the album, and it would always be the God joint that would be the craziest shit on the album, but the song before that might be about fucking killing your whole family, but it'd still be the same emotion, like, and it'd still be ill. So, yeah, for sure. Early DMX, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel I'm always talking about like voices and shit, so I feel like DMX like. His voice is like, it's one of the craziest voices like in music history, like beyond hip hop. Like, that's not a voice you could just practice and get. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's his fucking voice.
Iconic ad-lib.
And you could tell he was born to do music. He would be terrible like working at like a fucking Applebee's. Imagine that shit. Like,
be wild aggressive.
These wings is cold.
Say half off apps. Like, yeah, nah, that's facts. Yeah, easily one of the most iconic voices in music. Like nobody could do it like X does. And it's really Sharif, it's really interesting that you brought up the religion thing, because like I'm not a religious person, but I always like his faith never put me off of his music. Like
Yeah, I'm fucking man's.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, that was funny. Like I've been thinking about that a lot recently. Like he was somebody who was just like, I was like, oh, like that's just like, he was one of the first people I remember listening to where I recognized like, oh, like he's like a devoutly religious person. Like that's cool. Good for him. Like, like, yeah. So and I actually feel like there's a bridge between there, because not even just in the voice, but I feel like there's I feel like you and X share a lot of DNA, just in the sense of like how you guys project your voices and like the way you put your words together, and even the things you talk about. Like I think there's a slight connection there, especially if we're going to talk about like flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. I actually just learned this really, I forget who shared it. It might have been it was Rap Portraits. Shout out to Rap Portraits. Shout out to Holland and Yo. They shared a clip of the guy who shot the cover for Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. And he said that, like, he told this whole story about how he had to get, like, how he convinced DMX to take the bath in blood. And he said he had to like take his pants off in front of 20 people to like show that he was with it. And then X was like, all right, like,
all right, bro.
He was like, all right, he was like, you put your pants back on, I'll do this photo shoot. And then that's how it happened. Like that was I don't know, that story really just like stood out to me.
Yeah. Roper, don't ever do that for me. If I don't want to do it, I'm taking off my underwear, bro. You doing this photo shoot? I'm like, nah, it's okay.
Nah, so that's just how you know he's committed. Like that's I don't know. That made me smile. I like that a lot.
No, that's real shit. And no, and it's crazy you even say that. Like you said, like me and him, kind of like with the DNA shit. It's kind of like I was never like a religious person, but kind of like religion. Like I always throw a certain type of religious stuff in my music, and even just like my life, because literally, like I had two parents that was into like a bunch of bullshit back in the day, and they both switched their life. So like my father is a Christian, Muslim, and my mother a Christian. So literally, like my whole life, I recognized and got taught from both sides. So I always took in different elements of each side that I was like, okay, I don't fully agree with this, but I like how this side talks about brotherhood and family. I like how this side talks about just being responsible and staying true to yourself and that type shit. So yeah, I definitely feel like that.
Yeah, same. Real quick before we move on, I went to church when I was younger. Both my parents were like kind of sort of religious, but after a while, my father pulled us out. Because the pastor was just like spending all the tithes on like bullshit. He like bought himself a new car and like a new TV and all this other wild shit.
I got a visit 20, man. God told me to buy this. God told me to buy this bed.
Yo, you already know. And also he was just being wild homophobic, and my parents were not with that shit. So they pulled us out of the church, and they sat me and my sister down, my younger sister, and they were like, look, we're not doing this anymore. Like, you can do it if you want. Like, it's your choice. Like, you can choose to go to church or you can just not. And we both just decided to not. Like, I just thought it was wild that like my parents gave us the option. Like, we could just like do it. But like what 10-year-old kid, what 11-year-old kid is like, yeah, I'm gonna go to church every Sunday by myself with no parents. I'm gonna get dressed up and go to Sunday school. And no, like that was just funny to me.
I'm just picturing if you really kept it going for like 10 years straight after that. You're like, fuck that, mom, I'm going. You can spit all his money on strippers. I'm listening to the word.
I'm saved, you're not. Like on some wild shit. But anyway, get well, X, and thank you.
We here for you, X. Get well, baby.
Thank you for everything you've done for us.
Yeah.
So let's run into this shit. So when was the? So I'm not even gonna ask like when was the first time you went to the movies. I'm gonna ask what's your earliest memory with a movie? It could be at the theater, it could be at home, it could be with a friend. Like, what's your earliest movie memory?
Me personally, like, it's weird because going back a little, like I was saying about my mother before, like my early movie experiences was a lot of stuff with her, and it's crazy because like she, we all family here, so I could talk to family. You feel me? She had a drug problem when I was coming up, so a lot of times with that, it would be a lot of arguing and not seeing eye to eye, and I might not see her for a few days, but like one thing we literally always connected on and we had peace was watching movies late night. So like I might not see her all day, but we might watch TV from like 12 to 3 in the morning together, like, and shit like that. Movies had a special place in my heart from then on, like. And I would say my earliest memory of movies is literally Candyman and Menace to Society. Them
Wow.
like them two of my two really scenes in particular. So like the opening scene in Menace to Society and the scene in Candyman when the little boy get killed in the bathroom and they fucking go in there and the blood is all over and shit. Like them two scenes, I was like, God damn, these two niggas ain't no joke.
Yeah, no.
No, I was gonna say I feel like mine are like because my sister's a little older, so she would have sleepovers with her friends. So like
bad, bro.
my first memories would be they were watching like horror movies and like they watched like Psycho once, and that scene with the shower obviously sticks out. And then we were watching Scream once, which is obviously not even that scary of a movie, but I was so young. There must be a scene where somebody gets killed in a public bathroom because
in Scream?
Yeah, one of the Screams.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I feel like they have a public.
Oh no, you might be talking about the dick in their ear from the second one with Omar Epps.
That's scary.
That's scary. Yeah.
Oh no! Wow.
Yeah, scary movie.
My bad. That's Scream too. Omar Epps got killed in Scream too. That was Sean Wayans with the dick in the ear. My bad.
Right.
He was loving that shit too.
But yeah, those movies fucked me up when I was a kid. And also, I remember going to see the Pokemon movie with my mom. And because that movie, like she took me and like my friends went, and like that movie starts off with just like 10 or 15 minutes of just Pokemon talking, like Pika Pika, and like Cubone. Like there's no actual speaking. So yeah, my mom always says that's her least favorite movie of all time.
That's hilarious. Yeah, because you're talking about Pokemon, like the first movie with Mewtwo and Mew and shit, right? Yeah. So yeah, because that's the one that started with like, they had like a race. They were like racing across like the world or something. I forget. Like I remember the song too. The Pokemon the first movie soundtrack has some fucking jams on it, kind of low key.
Pokemon is pretty good with their music overall. Like,
yeah.
They've missed on some theme songs and stuff, but
am I crazy? I never got into Pokemon or Space Jam.
Of course.
I never got into neither one of those two.
You're only a little bit, like you're only wilding a little bit, but it's okay.
Okay.
It's all good. No.
I gotta check those two out. I gotta check out Space Jam and Pokemon.
Yeah. Honestly, the only reason to check, like I love Space Jam. It's like I guess I could call it my favorite movie ever, just because it's the movie I love to watch the most. Like there's obviously like better movies made, but like if you put on Space Jam, I'm gonna sit down and watch the whole thing. Like fucking like Charles Barkley and who else is in that movie?
You just want to be. You're not the real Charles Barkley.
Yeah. they have all the ball players get together for the therapy session, and they try to play again. Yeah. It's just, the movie is so good. And then the new one's coming out in July, so you gotta tap in so you can watch the new one.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch both of them shits this weekend. That and Pokey.
Nah, it's they're both a lot of, yeah, like if you can find Pokemon the first movie, like Pokemon the first movie is just like the Mewtwo scenes, like Mewtwo in general is just a really cool character that I was surprised they haven't like done a lot with until I think they kind of did some cool shit with him in Detective Pikachu, which I also liked. But it was the weird one, but that's definitely up on somewhere. But yeah, either way, like tap in.
Yeah, no, I definitely will.
So like while you guys are getting older and coming up, like was like you've both already kind of dug into it a little bit. Was there a specific movie that like made you? Did you have like a specific moment where you like fell in love with a movie and were like, damn, I love these shits?
I would say Medicine Society and Candyman.
Okay. Yeah.
I would say coming up that, and I would say probably as I got older, probably like 10, 11, it was probably you know what two movies was my shit? I used to order The Fugitive with Harrison Ford.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit is fucking beautiful. That and fucking that when I was like, I was like, this movie shit is dope. And fucking it was this movie called The Client with Susan Sarandon. With this little ass boy, he was like, he was running from the mob the whole movie. And he was like trying to save him or whatever. Shit was dope. Like if I watched it today, I might fucking hate it. But 10, 11, I was like, God damn, this movie is shit.
Oh wow, Tommy Lee Jones is in both of these. I didn't realize this. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wow.
TLJ.
Said TLJ. Yo, that's hilarious. Roper, what about you?
I don't really know because like I wasn't like a huge movie person. Like I was so into music until like college. I was like, damn, I'm like a movie is an hour and a half to 2 hours. I could listen to 4 albums in that time. Like I was just studying too much music, listening to too much music, and it just seemed like a waste of time. And I got into it a little later. But yeah, I don't have like a movie that's like, damn, this. I mean, his first two movies he watched were amazing. I watched Scream and Pokemon, so it's like, if I had a better first movie experience, I would have got into it earlier.
Hey man, Scream is cool. Scream is a good first movie
experience. Hell yeah.
It's all right.
Rest in peace, Uncle Wes.
Oh man, I always forget about that. Damn.
We gotta talk about Wes on this.
Oh hell yeah.
I got Wes named down as one of my key points I wanted to build.
I keep on hell, we might as well talk about it now. I keep on forgetting Wes Craven passed away. Like it's been so long, and it just felt like he was never gonna go away. You know, that's so wild to me because I've been trying to rewatch Red Eye. You ever see Red Eye, the movie with them on the plane?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I love that movie. I think I just love the idea of like a horror movie set on an airplane. I can't believe no one's ever like, because like you have like a Twilight Zone episode where they have like the dude with the gremlin and shit, but like I don't think anyone had ever tried to like set a whole horror movie on an airplane. I'm like, that's such a great idea. Like why not go for that? Like,
yeah, no, hell yeah. No, and it's ill too, because like to me, like Wes was always dope to me, like because like he always was like a big inspiration on me when it came to music shit, just off of like, if you look at his catalog of movies, it's literally none of it is the same shit. Like anytime he do a movie, it's literally a whole new world. So like literally the original Last House on the Left is totally different than the original Hills Have Eyes, which is totally different than the Nightmare on Elm Street, which is totally different than Shocker, which is totally different than People Under the Stairs. What's different is totally different than Vampire in Brooklyn. What's totally different than Serpent in the Rainbow.
Wow, you're going in right now.
Yeah, hell yeah, like it's fucking beautiful, like.
Yeah, so I was gonna save this for later, but I guess I might as well ask it now. I mean, like clearly, you're a huge horror movie fan, and I've like if you had to pick one favorite horror movie, what would it be? A, and B, how would you say it's like, or if it inspired your music, how would you've already kind of like, you've already kind of like answered the question off top, but like if you had to pick like one
The Shining, hands down.
Really?
He already know how. Yeah, he already. Hell yeah.
What like that's a really interesting choice because a lot of people have a lot of feelings about The Shining. My girlfriend and I watched Dr. Sleep for the first time maybe like a couple months ago. Movie was fire. I love Dr. Sleep, but the shot, like we have we're kind of weird about The Shining. Like we're like we both had a lot of conversations about it. So like, what is it that you love about
Shining slander? Let's hear it. Let's hear
no,
this
no,
Shining
no, no,
slander.
no. It's been too long for me. I don't have any specific Shining slander that I can think of right now, because like the last time I watched it was in college, so it's been like a decade. Like,
Okay.
so you tell me, what do you love so much about The Shining? And that sounded so accusatory.
Oh no.
What do you love about The Shining?
Nah, it's I would say it's kind of just like it's different things with it. Like, first of all, I like the mood of the movie, so it's kind of like how it starts in like the remote location. He in the hotel, he had a meeting in the hotel, and then once they get in the hotel, it's kind of like I always been a fan of like worlds that's kind of like a world in its own. So like to me, it was always dope, like in the Overlook, like how literally within the early scenes of the Overlook, the hotel never got more than like 15 people in it. Like it's literally always him, the person he talking to, his family, and nobody else. And nobody else notices nobody else is there. So that could get deeper into the movie with like the hotel being haunted, but like literally you'll see scenes where it's like the guy would be cleaning the floor. He's not moving around, like there's nobody talking next to him. It's just like a whole nother like entity there type shit. And even like as the movie go on, where it's just like where the snowing start, I always thought it was crazy where it's like, damn, isolation can really make you go crazy. Like we've seen from even like quarantine these past few months. I'm like, damn, imagine being in a hotel room for like with 80 inches of snow and you can't leave, but you got an annoying ass wife and a son with a mental issue that you're not really sure about, and it's haunted. Like I might have to kill my whole fucking family too if I got to think about that shit for too long and sit with it. Like,
that's cold, bro. That's cold because it's not even Jack's fault. It's mostly just the fact that he was already unstable enough to begin with, and it just seemed like he was just looking for an excuse, low key. Like
no. You can definitely before they even got there is when Danny had the arm injury from him.
Right.
You could. I like the way it kind of set that up too. Kind of like, is he an abusive father? Is he an alcoholic? Is he crazy? And then they kind of set it up where it's like, oh, okay, he's regular, this or that. He might just have his issues. But then you just see little flashbacks of him in the hotel room and just like Danny riding the motorcycle around the hallway and stuff like that. Like, and like just like little stuff like that is weird to me. Like, cause like I pay attention to detail with certain shit, and I was telling him like the last time I was watching it, I'm like, yo, you ever notice that the sounds from the bike going off and off of the rug is kind of like, it sounds like a beat pattern. Like just it's like weird. Like I'm like, yo, like it's some weird shit. I can't even fucking explain it, but like it's some shit I noticed the last time I was watching it, like last year. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, this shit is fucking beautiful. Like, and it's just like a beautiful movie visually. Like you see the blood, like they do a lot with colors and like shapes. Like I love like stuff that do a lot with color, shapes, and like location, like type shit. Yeah, the rugs in the wall, like even the dude in the beard, the guy in the beer suit just giving head. Random shit that you just like, oh shit. You gonna do that, bro. Also the naked lady, like
the naked lady, yeah.
It's kind of like my brain, just random shit jumping out sometimes. But it connects at the end.
Right. I respect that because like from what I remember, the three things I really did love about The Shining were the mood and the atmosphere. The bear shit was really crazy, and like for me the shot of the kid on the bike going through the hall, like that's one of like the best movie shots ever done of all time. Like it's like that, like that's always one of the first ones I think of, and it's just like man, like that's how you shoot a fucking movie. Like it's always where my brain goes.
Yeah.
Yo. So as you guys are getting older and kind of starting to come into your own tastes and your own styles, like yeah, like Roper earlier, you were just mentioning that you were like really like dug into music at that point. And so like while you guys were continuing to grow up, like was there ever a period of time where either of you consciously began to link music and film together in your heads before you started making music on some real shit?
Um, I would say from the first time, because I started writing probably around fourth grade, like raps. But before that, I was doing poetry. And like when I was in high school, I did like plays, like like one man, like different plays and shit like that. So I always connected music to movies in the aspect of I'm like, yo, if I'm gonna ever write and do music, it has to be as theatrical as this. It has to be like the way movies make me feel. I have to make people feel like this through my writing, with creating moods and scenery and all of that within words. Because I'm like, if they can create this within an hour and a half, I can create this within one person in a 3-minute song, or however I decide to get the point across. Like, so yeah, for sure.
I also feel like with like I always thought like track listing is something that's very similar, like that you can really compare to movies, like the order of track list and like just like different movies, how like Scanners, like the dude's head blows up in the first 10 minutes, and that's like one of the craziest scenes you'll ever see, like, you know what I mean?
Cronenberg, the GOAT.
And that's
Yeah, shout out to Cronenberg for sure.
that's happened so early in the movie, so it's like, how are you going to top this? Like, so that's something to think about with track lists. Like do we put like this crazy song early, or then you have like a movie like Society, where it's like the whole thing is very like normal, and then at the end it's like, now at the end it's crazy, like it turns up like, and it's the weirdest visuals you're gonna see. So it's like,
hell yeah.
The sequencing of movies and the sequencing of albums, I feel like is interesting to like compare and think about like that.
Yeah, no, that's dope. I didn't think about that before, especially when you were talking about Scanners, because yeah, like everybody knows the head bust scene. Like that's like the most famous shot in the whole movie. But the movie ends with Michael Ironside and bro whose name I don't remember. Like the two of them are having the like battle and shit, and then like one of them the brown haired guy, like his eyes explode and he like possesses bros. Like that movie has a crazy fucking and then like he possessed his body and he comes back and he's like, we won, and his eyes are the different that's a crazy fucking ending for a movie. I think about that all the time.
If you're gonna do something that crazy in the beginning, it's like, what are you gonna do at the end?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta have something for the end if something that crazy in the beginning happens.
No, and that's crazy. Literally, he said that because literally, like I was just talking about that because I always say like it's dope to me like how within film, it literally like depending on the film, you can literally you can connect it to music to kind of like just how you hearing it or just different elements of it. So like to me, like for example, like something like Silence of the Lambs.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's kind of ill. How I always thought it was ill, kind of like how in the beginning, like when they first telling Clarice about Hannibal, it's like 20 minutes before you see him, but they literally just describing the type of person he is. So literally, like in your head, you thinking it's one thing before you even get to it. And it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like a track list where it's kind of like, you remember like when they took her to meet him, she had to walk down like 89 flights of fucking stairs. And then she had to walk through a fucking gate. Then she had to walk through it. Then there's people like screaming and shit. And then when she see him, he just standing there like, hello, Canadians. I've been waiting. You know? So it's kind of like, it's always like that with music to me too, where it's kind of like, I can take you through this. And then when we finally get to that point, it's like, oh shit. Fucking the words in the second song was so horrible. I thought the seventh song was gonna be terrible. The seventh song is about fucking some whole other shit. Like, so it's kind of like the always keeping the audience guessing. Like, right. To me, that's the big thing. That's the big connecting point. And even sometimes And what I do think I'll put over movies within music is a lot of times with music, as artists, we have to explain too much. To me, like I love like the mysteriousness that film directors can have over stuff like that. Because literally to this day, I don't think Quentin Tarantino will ever say what was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Never. And he shouldn't ever.
Yeah, like so like to me, I'm like, that shit is ill. Like, I'm like, as musicians, everything every bar you don't have to get. Every song you don't have to, what does this mean and that and this and that. If I choose to tell you, I can tell you. Or I could just be like, you heard it.
Right.
you take
like,
you take it for like.
Yeah, like does it hit you? Yeah, exactly. Nah, I feel it. And it's really crazy that you just brought up Silence of the Lambs because like Anthony Hopkins only has like 10-15 minutes worth of screen time in that movie, and he made such an impression that he's really the only, not to say that he's the only part of the movie anyone talks about, but like considering how like that's an almost 2-hour movie and he's in it for like barely 15 minutes. So like he made that much of an impression off of that little screen time. So like I can definitely see the parallel of wanting to like make an impression like that.
You know what else
Hell
is like that?
The best movie ending ever. I'm having an old friend for dinner. Then you see him just walking down the boardwalk at Seaside for like 45 minutes straight.
Yeah, that shit is beautiful. What were you about to say, bro?
Another movie that's like that is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
The OG?
Yeah, Gene Wilder doesn't come into the movie till it's halfway over. But he's the only thing to think about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he takes over that whole movie. I love movies where it's like one person that's like a super driving force. Like, the movie wouldn't be good without them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like you have to be a super special actor to do that. I feel like he definitely did that in that. That was crazy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and like Gene Wilder is the reason I like that movie because I watched it a lot growing up, and I was like, until he showed up, I was like, whatever. And then
grandparents in a bed.
Right. And then he falls over and does the little cane trick, and it's like, all right, cool. Like, okay, now I'm into it. Yeah. So I feel you. So I'm really interested in this whole parallel between like movie sequencing and track listing. So for both of you, like, can y'all think of albums where you first started to make that comparison? Like Roper in particular, since you were the one who brought it up, like, is there any one album that makes you that really gives you that feeling more than any other?
I mean, I feel like the sequencing on like albums that have crazy like College Dropout has a super crazy sequencing to me that's like super unique. Like I don't know like I mean like it's stuff I think about when like I'm sequencing an album, like, you know what I mean? Like I to me it's more fun to draw inspiration from stuff like movies for stuff like that as opposed to just copying like what Tribe did, like, you know what I mean? Because
right,
like no one could be as good as Q-Tip anyway, so like you can't copy what Tribe did, you know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be as hot. Like I think it's more fun to draw inspiration from movies. I don't read books that much, but books.
He's a wizard with that. That was the fun part about making Gandhi Loves Children. Him putting the pieces together. I was like, oh shit, this shit is hell.
Nah, I love that because I'm also not a big book person. Like I'm slowly getting myself back into books. I have like a whole stack that I started reading, but yeah, like movies have always been a thing that have colored the way that I think about damn near everything. You know, like I can. There was a period of time, probably even now, where I could really I could draw a parallel between any sort of real life thing and some sort of like filmic like idea or like perspective or like technique or some shit. So and yeah, I think the College Dropout. I agree. It's been a minute since I've listened to College Dropout for reasons, but like yeah man, like sorry, what'd you say?
No, I said I haven't bumped it in a minute. Like,
yeah, same here. But yeah, man, College Dropout is just like front to back. It just runs. You could just run it front to back.
It's skits and like interludes, but the interludes they're not beats, but they're like musical. Like it's real singing. Like
He's like, hey, Jim, shit.
It's like and
get a job, nigga.
Yeah, and it's like the shit is just hilarious. Like, my dad died. Like to start a song off with that, like my dad died.
Yeah,
like that's different. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's type wild.
For sure.
And to have it be hilarious too, like you really don't feel bad for him at all. I don't know why. He took all my degrees, like.
I'ma just keep going. I'ma just stand there with my degrees and ring them up like, look at my degrees, man. Like,
fuck them degrees, nigga. Play that damn workout playing shit.
Yo, that's so funny because to me, as much as I love the college dropout skits, the late registration skits, the broke five broke shit was always my favorite shit growing up.
Yeah,
like,
we're going share pins.
Yeah. Eating all of our cereal with forks, so because we going to save the milk. You remember like that whole, and then and then the whole bit where they're sizing him up because he's got the new shoes.
Yeah.
I used to listen to those shits with my dad, dude, and like he and I would like what year did late registration come out? Like 04, 05, something like that.
Probably 06. I feel like.
Hell no, because graduation came out in 07. Because that's when him and 50 was going back.
Right. Yeah, because I was okay.
Yeah. What's it came out of 04? It came out of 04, I think.
I feel like every time Kanye dropped, he was always saying that he's back. So I feel like there's always a little bit.
You're like, bro, you back? You going one?
Nah, it was 05. Late registration was 05. So I was like, I must have been like 12 or 13. I was going to guess
the years because I was going to ask you what year the Blueprint 2 came out because the bounce.
That's not something I remember, bro.
Oh, because that was the first song.
I don't remember all time.
Blueprint 1, I could tell you.
He about to tell you like. Nah, he right. Yeah, College Dropout definitely. That shit was definitely cinematic. To me, I would say the Downward Spiral album from 9 Inch Nails. That shit was yeah. That shit did a lot with just like sound. Like it would just be fucking noises, like, and then like it'd be an ill ass skit, and it like shit is beautiful. Like
Trent Reznor's the GOAT though. Like we can't ever forget that.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite producer. He's on my bucket list of producers I want to work with. That dude is incredible.
And it's crazy because I didn't listen to Downward Spiral for the first time until after I heard the Danny Brown Atrocity Exhibition joint, because the first song on there is called Downward Spiral, and then I looked into it and I was like, oh, it's named after a 9 Inch Nails song, and I found that one because I had listened to 9 Inch Nails before, but I was like, that was when I really tapped into that one album, and I was like, yeah, Reznor's crazy, bro.
Yeah, he did 2 of my favorite albums easily. That and he scored Natural Born Killers. That's my favorite movie ever. So that shit is fucking sheesh.
Yo, like Trent Reznor is like honestly maybe my favorite composer. Like if if I had to pick like my favorite film score, like contemporary, he would be it. Because he did that. He did The Social Network. He did fucking he did another one like really recently that I loved. And I can't remember what it was.
My man Borg was telling me about. What's the name of that shit? The Trent Reznor shit that you said.
The most recent one?
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
It was like some kid shit.
Damn. Yeah. It was some kid shit.
Well, he did Soul recently.
Oh, Soul, yeah.
Soul.
Right. He did Soul, and he did the Watchmen show. Him and Atticus Ross did the.
Watchmen.
Right.
Okay.
That was the one before Soul. Yep.
Yeah. Nah, because I love the Watchmen show, and a big part of that was his music. His music is incredible. He's so good at what he does.
We got to start that up. Roper, Sharif, and Trent Reznor album.
Yo, got it. Nah, bro. If Reznor is listening, we need that to happen. Like, we need that to happen, son. Come on. Oh man. So, all right. So, I don't really think I know how you two met. So, like, like, you guys you obviously came together like before. Like y'all already had established musical identities before you met, but like, how did you guys meet? Yeah, how did you guys meet?
Well, I would say we probably knew each other like 8 years at this point, like going on, and it started where I used to work at. Well, I worked at this movie theater, and I met my man Bug. He over here chilling. Bug, come say what's up to the people, man. Come say what's up to my man. Just say what's up to the homie.
Awesome podcast. You guys are killing it.
Thank you, bro.
Live. I'm the studio audience.
I'm fucking with your hat, by the way, bro.
Oh yeah, thank you. They hate
the
show.
Thunder Mifflin shit. I'm meh on it, but I love the design of the Thunder Mifflin shit. Like they really got that perfect.
I'm not like gonna beat people up if they don't like it.
It ain't Homeboys in Outer Space, goddamn it.
Nothing is Homeboys in Outer Space.
But yeah, so me and him was working at the same job, and at that time I was doing a radio show at King University, this hip hop show every Thursday night. Strangers with Hip Hop. Shout out to my man 89. So it was Thursday nights 9 to 11, and we used to do these on the air ciphers. So he asked me one night, he was like, "Yo, I got a group from Hoboken, Jersey City area. Could they come through to get in the cipher?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why not? Are they dope?" He's like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "All right, tell them to pull up." So they pull up. The producer is this man. So he walks in. They come through, kill it. I'm like, "Yo, y'all was dope, this or that." From then, we kept a relationship, basically. They'll invite me to the studio. I'll pull up, chill, and I'll just be like, "Yo, you got some dope-ass beats, bro." Mind you, at this point, I'm already doing my thing, so I'm just like, "Yo, you got some dope-ass beats. Let's cook up some shit." And it's crazy because literally, like, the album that the Gandhi Loves Children album that's out now, that literally was probably 4 to 5 years in the making, with stopping and starting at 3 different occasions. Like we might do 2 songs. I remember like the first time I went to his crib, like that's why I tell people, if you never recorded in Roper crib, you don't really know Roper. Before he had this, like he told me come to his crib one day, so I go to the crib. He got the records, the vinyl. I think we made 2 songs, right? Baby, I Love You. Yeah. So we made 2 songs the first time I ever went to his crib. Shit was dope. So I'm like, all right, we're going to make this into something. I think maybe a few months go by. I'm like, yo, let's make a whole concept project out of this. So I had like a crazy ass, like Fantastic Planet type concept with like a fucking alien and fucking some whole other shit. Like, so he like, yeah, I'm down. I think somewhere in between that, his machine crashed. So we lost all of those beats. So I think it might have been
some RZA shit. Oh no.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, hell yeah. So I think it might have been another few months. We linked up again, did 2 more songs. Yo, da-da-da-da-da. I think after that, with just our personal lives, both of our careers going in different directions, we may have lost contact for maybe like a year and a half. But we would always talk. So probably like 3 years ago when we linked up again for the final time, we was like, all right, bro, let's finally get this shit moving. Like, and then I would say probably the first 2 to 3 songs on the album was probably the first 2 or 3 songs we recorded. So probably like Tragic and I'm Bugging. And once we got the second song done, we was like, all right, bro, this is some shit we're not hearing from nobody else. Let's just keep doing this and get it as perfect as possible. And the rest is history. And
yeah,
the response has been great. So shout out to everybody showing Gandhi Loves Children love for sure. Like it was a long time coming for y'all to get that.
one of the first songs that he actually like recorded, because those first 2 I don't even think we ever recorded.
Nah, hell no.
I just wrote them. One of the first things he ever recorded was this posse shit. He had a bar where he said something about like KRS Braille.
KRS embraced in Braille.
Speak sign language to an ancient whale. And I was just like, that's fucking crazy. Like,
that is just wild.
What that means, but like he's saying some stuff that no one else is saying. Like, so that's intriguing to me. Like content. Yeah, I always remember that bar on that first recording.
I'm using that shit as a hook.
I mean that's a crazy bar, so I don't blame you. Just because I'm curious. No, of course. Just because I'm curious, and I never asked the both of you, where in Jersey are you? Where in Jersey are you both from?
Rawway, NJ, Hoboken, NJ.
I'm like,
oh, all right. So like Roper's not too far from me. I grew up in Montclair, but I live in Clifton.
So shit! See, I gotta holler at you. I'm in Patterson a lot.
Oh, literally. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. No. Whenever I'm home, Yeah, we're gonna make that happen, especially now that it's vaccine time and I can go back outside again without being terrified.
I just got mine on Monday. I'm back in the strip
Oh.
club, baby.
Shout out to you, bro.
Also, a side note: a lot of the first performances when like me and him were together, like not as a group, but like we would both be performing on the same bill. I think like 2 of them were in Montclair. So that's cool.
Oh, word? Do you remember where?
One was in like a random art gallery, and then one was in like some dude's backyard. Cops came. But I always remember. Side note on that: Topaz Jones performed that night. I don't know if you know.
Shout out to Topaz, yo.
He performed that night, and like I'm watching. I'm like, who the hell is this dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know who it was, and he was killing it. And I'm a hater. My boys are haters. We're watching, like, damn, this dude's crazy.
He's like, he way better than us.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, this dude's nice. Like, and we were all in fucking agreement with that. So yeah, that was the first time I heard Topaz Jones. I've been a fan.
No,
I never heard of he's a hater. That's hard.
Nah, you let me admit I'm a hater.
Jeez.
Yo. But yeah, nah, shout out to Topaz. We went to school together. We weren't like close, but like he was a year behind me. And his new album is crazy. You heard it here for it's fucking wild. I think it's out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I see Thelonious tweeting about it. I gotta peep that.
Yeah. Nah, shout out to Thelonious too. Also a Montclair representative.
Yeah, he was there that night.
Hell yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
It's such amazing shit coming from the garden right now, man.
For real, yo. Like, yeah. I wanna actually, don't want to talk about that now or later. Shit. But yeah, like Jersey's really going crazy right now. There's so many different kinds of rap coming out of Jersey, and it feels like a special moment.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of Jersey always has a lot of talent though. Like Jersey always has extreme talent, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like really extreme talent. Like literally like the best ball handler of all time, Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big man of all time, Shaquille O'Neal. You know what I mean? Like that's the craziest voice of all time, Whitney Houston. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, so it's like Jersey has very extreme talent. I feel like I don't know why, but that's just how it is.
I compare it to the jazz movement of like the '60s, where it was kind of like you had to be there, where people was like, yo, this dude, and this dude used to do practice together, bro. Could you believe that? Like, and they would just drop the illest music of all time.
Yo, that's so funny because I was just talking to Pink Sifu and Fly Anakin. Shout out to the two of them. I interviewed them for the first time last year, and I like neither of them knew Just Blaze was from Patterson. I was like, Just Blaze is from Jersey, and they were like, what?
Yeah.
Like everybody always gets so surprised.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
A few times, like just like around Jersey, and it's just like, oh, shit. I seen him in a record store.
Damn.
The people who were like running the record store, like he left. I'm like, do you guys know who that just was?
The hell yeah, nigga.
They're like, nah. I'm like, that's just Blaze.
Timberland.
Like what? Yo, I can't even imagine. I haven't seen him around, but I don't know how I'd react if I saw Just Blaze anywhere.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
I seen him in a corner store once, man, normal, and we were both getting the same shit. It was bugged out.
Damn, what'd you get? You remember?
I don't want to put his business out there, but it was
felt.
It's some straight bullshit. You like sunflower seeds,
6 bottles of Patron,
and a jug of Everclear.
Yeah.
Right. Nah. Yeah. Nah. I'd only want to know if he was getting like a Arizona iced tea and a honey bun or some shit.
He's too established to get some.
Nah, it was that type.
Mind you, we bitch you like these 50 cent more now, bro.
Yo, relax. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Just Blaze. That's an extreme talent right there. He's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like extreme.
Like making beats off a fucking like phone and a calculator type shit. Like he's next level.
Like making blueprint beats like in like 10 minutes with Jay-Z right there. Like that's scary.
Different type animal.
That's a different kind of energy for real. So like y'all, I guess let's just dive back into Gandhi Loves Children. So like you guys are kind of already given a little bit of background, but like where did the initial idea for the concept of Gandhi Loves Children come from?
That was like he had like Tragic. The first song on the tape was like one of the early songs we did. So on that he says that bar. He says Gandhi Loves Children. So we were trying to come up with the titles, and like we were just tossing like different ideas back and forth. That was one of the ideas. I'm like Gandhi Loves Children is a wild album title, like, and I feel like it captures something about the album, like, you know what I mean, like the fact that like you might take it one way, someone else might take it another way. It's not too clear like why it's called that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like to people. So
nah, and it's crazy too, because like I always say, like, to me, like with that title, like it is, I think it's the beauty of like me and Roper's like working relationship. It was literally like we were trying to figure out a title. He was like, yo, Gandhi Loves Children. I think that should be it. And it was just like, you're right. That shit is fucking dope. I don't have to fucking think about it extra. I don't got to ask you why it should be that. I'm just like, yo, that shit is dope. But to me, the genius of the title really settled in like once we got like the final mixes of the album back and we heard everything lyrically and sonically go together. And even like, to me, I always say like, to me, that's an album that literally, it could have literally been only made in 2020 with everything going on now, like from the crazy sex scandals to the police shootings and the protests and Corona and everything else, and the whole just whirlwind of chaos going on in 2020. To me, I think like the album and the title like captures it perfectly, like like a time capsule like project, like where you might hear like a Jimi Hendrix album from the 70s, and you like, yeah, this was when the Vietnam was going on and everything. Even like y'all brought up College Dropout before. Think of stuff that was happening in the world in 04. Like you could literally hear the songs and be like, yo, this was happening here. Like I think like we were trying to go for that with Gandhi, like through and through, and I definitely think we like succeeded on that end.
Yo, that's wild. Cause going back to what you guys were talking about with like the title not necessarily having a meaning, like it just sounds dope, you know, like sometimes like not everything needs to have a meaning, and it can just like sound ill, you know, like Gandhi Loves Children, just like it rolls off the tongue, you could just like say it and it sounds good.
Mentally, like it's effective because like there's nothing in it that like is confusing to pronounce. That's something like that I always think about. That can ruin a whole lot. You can have a great album, but if you can't tell somebody what it's called,
Sherman Sheedy Simios.
Yeah, like if it's hard to pronounce. Like I remember Asher had a mixtape. Asher Roth had a mixtape.
Still don't know.
I still don't know how to pronounce it, and it was dope. Like you know what I'm saying? So I can't even tell you go look it up.
Yeah.
Like
I know which one you mean too. I don't even remember the title.
Exactly. Like, I'm not confident enough to try to say that name.
It had like food on the cover. That's literally the only thing I can remember.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so like that, but also just the word loves alone. The word love is like one of the top 3 like most common words in titles. Like
right.
So,
God damn, you broke it down.
So that's very comfortable and normal. So like inside of how strange the title is, there's still something comforting there. Like you know what I'm saying? It's a weird like it just works on a lot of levels. I feel like I like that, and GLC sounds cool. So the acronyms are good.
Yeah, and you know, like shout out to GLC, the rapper from Chicago too. So like it's more and more connections, bro. Like
come on.
Nah, of course. And then on top of like Sharif, it's really interesting that you brought up that you feel like it kind of represents a time capsule because obviously 2020 was an incredibly chaotic year for everyone, like especially over here in the States, wherever anyone might be listening from. Like there's people who listen to this shit from Australia, so I'm just in case nobody has context about what's happening in other parts of the world.
Shout out to everybody on the check-in too, worldwide.
Yeah, for real. Like like we've all been going through it, and it hasn't been the worst over here. But yeah, like we love you wherever you are. I think it's really interesting that you brought that up because to me, the first few times I listened to this project when it first came out, and then when I was doing it for this, like not every single part of it reminded me of horrorcore, but there was a lot. There's little aspects and bits of horrorcore in the project. To me personally, I don't know how you feel about that. You're kind of shaking right now, so I'm starting to get nervous. But like,
it's funny you said that because I think I heard that from maybe one or two other people, and I'll always say, like, to me, like, horror movies and like a lot of shit like that, like you were saying before, like, it definitely like influenced a lot of my writing and thought process with creating, but I definitely wouldn't call it like a horrorcore project at all. Or
right.
I would never even call myself a horrorcore artist. I literally would just call it just like a study of what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I look at it like, as crazy as a song like I'm Bugging, a Nasty Man might be, to me, it's literally on the way here today, I heard about a spree killing that's going on right now. Police were chasing somebody. Or we literally live in a world where people sell their kids for drugs. People eat their kids and fucking go crazy, have sex with all types of crazy shit. So
Right.
to me, like, if I'm horrorcore, the world is fucking a million times worse.
Yeah, like,
if that's what people want to call it, like.
GLC, like, it's more like just like a reality show for the past couple of years. Like,
Yep.
it's just what happened. Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of the shit has been horrific.
A psychotic circus, that's what I call it.
Yeah. Nah, I respect all of that. The only reason it initially came into my head was because like the first two songs, like Tragic and I'm Bugging, and I think Nasty Man too, like I got a lot of like early Pharoah Monch from what you were doing on the raps, Sharif, and what you were doing on the beats, Rover. Like I like it really just gave me what was the name of his first album? Why can't
Internal Affairs.
Here we go, Internal Affairs.
Yeah,
like it really gave me
shit.
like it gave me like a very and like Monch was kind of sort of dabbling in that a bit, like.
Yeah, no, that's
like,
why when you said it, I was like, I definitely see your point, and I definitely can say that's definitely a inspiration for sure. Different artists like that, different directors, like we were saying, Craven and different shit like that, where it's kind of like, all right, how can I put a lens on what's going on today in my brain, but bring it into somebody who I just don't want to be like, all right, people are crazy. They setting churches on fire. They fucking got a poison that might kill you if you smell it. Don't get close to this person because they might touch you and you might die. These people over here is losing all their money, so they might fucking rob you and kill you. I can create my own universe with it to bring you into it. And some people might take it for, like you said, some people can take it as I get what he's saying. Some people can, I'm turned off from what he's saying, but to me, that's the beauty of music, and that's the beauty of like creativity. Like we all leave with our own like arrival of thought where we want to take it and where we like pick up onto that.
Right. Yeah. Like especially like cause you look at songs like I'm Bugging, you look at songs like Smithsonian, and you look at the
I'm
Cure
Bugging
for
with his idea too. Crazy. I didn't want I'm Bugging. That was me listening to him again. He made a good executive. I wanted to take that off for another song that didn't make the album, but he was like, yo, I'm Bugging. I was like, okay.
So
and that's a super favorite. So
what didn't you like about it? And Roper, what did you like about it?
Me personally, I thought it was a dope song, but it's lit. And it's funny too, because like literally, like I got like a crazy sense of humor, as you can tell. Like, so like a lot of the songs is literally inside joke shit, or like just shit that we just might talk about just on like a regular. So literally, like the genesis of that song is like at work, me and my mans will be chilling, talking, and I might just say some crazy shit like, yo, I just had sex with this stripper last night. She didn't have no legs. And I'd be like, oh shit, am I bugging? And niggas be like, yeah, you bugging, bro. So like I would do that literally like every day at work. And I told my boy, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna make a song like that one day. Every lyric is just gonna be the craziest fucking shit. And I'm gonna say I'm bugging afterwards. And he was like, yo, that'd be dope.
It was like 4 years.
So yeah, it was like 4 years before I even wrote the song.
That's
so
incredible.
like, so he made the beat one night, and I'm like, yo, this idea might can go dope on this. So we laid it. It was dope. But I'm just taking it as an inside. Oh, that's funny. That's dope. All right, cool. We can have it. That's for us type shit. Like, yeah, that's dope. That's dope. And like, he was like, yo, nah, this is one this gotta go. He wanted it. It's early in the album too, so he like, yo, this gotta be early in the album because if people can get through this song, the rest of the album would be easy. And again, I didn't really fight it. Like, he know what he's talking about when it comes to that shit. So I'm just like, all right, and it's definitely an album favorite from a lot of the supporters that I like. I definitely get hit up a few times a week and day about that song in particular. Like,
that's incredible. It's never the ones you think it's gonna be. Like that's the wild part. Yeah, tell me.
To me, there's a million reasons to have that song. Like, he's touching on so many crazy things, and it's like, just like the way it's like he's the villain from Spawn. You know that clown villain from Spawn? Like the way I get that. Like it just paints like a certain picture. There's weird things in it musically. The hook, like the way he does the hook is like super original. Like he's not basing that hook off of like, you can't, like, you're not really gonna reference another song and say, yeah, the hook was like that on this. Like,
right.
Like, and like it's like some of the hooks have like more time in them. It sometimes it's hard to guess when he's saying I'm bugging. So like, to me, that's another thing that I would relate to movies, where it's like you're playing off expectations. And like with movies, it's like, say you got a horror movie and like you want they start showing a jerk. This dude's a jerk early in the movie. You want him to die. You know he's gonna die. You know he's in the movie to get killed. The movie is good or not based off of how he gets killed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, does it meet your expectations? Does it exceed your expectations? Or does it throw you completely off and it's not like what you expected at all? So it's like, I feel like I'm Bugging does that, like, where it's like you can't like there's certain things to expect, and there's so much that you can't predict. Even if you listen to the songs a bunch of times, it's hard to pin it down. Right. I think that's the hardest song to pin down on the album.
No, I would agree, and that to me is what gave it so much replay value, because that's definitely one that I've gone back and revisited a whole bunch.
Thank you, bro.
That's what creates replay value, because you're still trying to figure it out. Like, I only like things that I can't figure out. Like, if I can figure something out too easy, it's not too exciting to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I can predict the movie the whole way through, like I was watching a movie the other day and I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, like they said something about an archangel in the beginning. I'm like, all right, that's the devil. Like, you know what I'm saying? This movie's yeah. Because now I gotta wait an hour and a half for you to reveal that something I already know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it's about expectations and delivering, exceeding, or just avoiding them completely. I don't know.
But see, when he says stuff like that, he puts the pressure on me, because now I'm Bugging Part 2 got to get me canceled to be dope.
Chill.
Part 2 got to be some whole other crazy shit.
So two things. One, I mostly agree with what you were saying, Roper. It depends on the movie for me, because sometimes like things can be predictable and then it'll just be less about the destination and more about the journey to get there. But like it really has to like work for it to be that way though. Like it's got to be a good movie.
Things can meet your expectations if they make you feel happy. Like if they're good enough, to execute it in the right way. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Like you want things you naturally want, like you want to see the jerk get killed. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
You can get killed in too cheesy of a way. It's good. It's gonna make you feel. It's literally like just set up to make you feel happy. Like
And then question.
Yeah.
My bad. You were about to ask him something?
No. I was just gonna follow up on I was just gonna say sometimes this is my train of thought. Sometimes like something will start and you'll think that it's gonna meet your expectations, but then halfway through it'll just completely throw you off the trail too. And like I like stuff like that even more. Like a movie like Parasite. Like when I saw Parasite for the first time, like that was like I knew something else was going on, but I didn't know like how much else was happening in that joint. And then like it just like by the time the movie was over, I was like, this is amazing. Like, what am I looking at right now? So like I feel like that's one of the cooler things that Gandhi Loves Children accomplishes. So shout out to y'all. Yeah. But what were you about? I'm sorry.
Misdirection, like you're talking about misdirection. That's like one of my favorite things. I feel like Doom is like the king of misdirection with bars.
Oh, facts.
No, before I would ask you what I was gonna ask you, to me it's dope too, because like I'm a big fan of like randomness and like certain shit. but like I like dope randomness, if it makes sense. Like
Yeah,
to me, I always thought it was ill how like Pulp Fiction, literally in the beginning, they start off with the convo about cheeseburgers, and it literally don't have nothing else to do with the scene.
Yeah.
And literally, it was always dope to me that literally like, and it's kind of like with the album where it's kind of like we can go from I'm bugging, how it goes from I'm bugging to Fly Pelican. On paper, that makes 0 sense. Where it's like, what the fuck? This or that. Oh shit. Fucking my bad bitch see-through. It don't fucking connect with it. But to me, like the dope randomness of like random shit can be dope if it's put together in a way that you like, yeah, I see it at the end. I see how it all made sense. Like going back to Pulp Fiction, that beginning was always dope. Was always dope to me. How literally when they went to kill the dude, you literally didn't know they was going to kill somebody until they was just like, yo, how many people you think is in there? They literally walking, talking, no guns was out, none of that. They just walking down the hallway. Then he like, oh, you think she got her pussy ate and she got thrown out of? They talking about Marcellus and all of that. Then it's like, oh shit, they about to kill this dude that owe them money. Literally, they could have been in the car. Yo, we're gonna fucking kill him and fucking. That would have been corny as shit. But it's literally just like, yo, we're gonna talk about hamburgers on the way to this shit. Like, bro,
and then
hamburgers, that's more like realistic to me. Cause that's something I was talking about. I'm like, bro, fuck this murder.
Yeah, nah.
Shit, I had an hour ago from out here.
Yeah, because two things. A, it makes it even more banal because like it just kind of shows like murder is like, I mean, like murder is murder, but like when you're in the position where you're like a hitman, it's like that's your job. Yeah. So like you're so you're on your way to murder and you can like talk about like a cheeseburger. It's like, oh, this is just like work. And it kind of makes it makes it feel like and then to take it even further, you have the scene where they're in the back with Marv, and then out of nowhere, like Marv just gets shot in the face, and like you don't see it coming, and it just happens. And it, like the first time I saw it, it completely caught me off guard, and I was like, damn, like whoa, like because it just like it was just like a random, like he had the gun on the seat the wrong way and it went off, you know, like that's that's gonna stay, like but what.
That's character development. That's like it's funny, but it makes the characters scarier and more intense.
Right.
Because they're taking it so lightly. That's genius.
No, I agree 100%. That's facts. Sharif, what were you about to ask me before? I'm sorry. You've been wanting to ask this.
I was gonna ask you, what's your favorite surprise movie ending? Because he was bringing up like the What was you just talking about when you was talking about? Oh no, you was talking about the Archangel shit. How you knew how it was gonna end. So like, I want to know y'all favorite favorite movie that when you got to the end, you was like, wow, I didn't see that coming at all. That was amazing. Like, you don't even have to like the whole movie either. Like, you can literally just like.
Damn. Oh man, that's such a hard question. Cause I already said Parasite, but I feel like I want to say something else because I want to. I got to think about that for a second. My favorite surprise movie ending. You know, the first one that comes to my head. So Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines would have to be one of my favorite surprise endings. The movie itself isn't great. I like it. I enjoy watching the movie. It's not a
I was
like there are things about it that I really don't like, but there's there's almost enough that I like to make me appreciate it. And the ending is a big part of that because like the movie for anybody listening who hasn't seen the third Terminator movie, like John Connor is like he's like a young man. He's got to be in like his like early to mid 20s or some shit. And he meets Claire Danes. I forget her character's name, but she was the other lady from Homeland. So the two of them are trying to get to this they're trying to get to this bunker that they think is gonna like stop all the Terminators and like kill Skynet because like Claire Danes' father is like the head military man, right? And they're like, oh, all right, we got to get to the bunker and like fix everything. So they get there and they think they're about to like save the world. It turns out that her dad was like, nah, like y'all are hiding in the bunker because like the world is going to end and there's nothing that can be done about it. So they get to the bunker thinking that there's going to be some like magic key that's going to like fix everything. but they get there just in time to watch Skynet launch all the nukes and destroy the Earth and bring Judgment Day. And I was like, wow, like that's ballsy. Like that's like it made me wish I liked the movie more because the ending was so good, like really good ending. But like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, so like for right, like I might have a different answer in 20 minutes, but right now, that's my favorite surprise movie.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I would say my two are 7 and
classic.
Yeah, 7 and damn, the other shit was literally just in my head because I was thinking about it when you were saying, "Fuck." Yeah, I know. Yeah, 7 is like my top 10 movies ever. Yeah, 7 and I want to say maybe Jacob's Ladder.
Ooh, wow! I haven't thought about that one in like 6 years. I don't even remember how it ended.
Movie. That shit, that's in my top 5 movies ever.
Yeah,
that shit is the randomness of that movie is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, that movie's gas. I love that movie.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Though I don't remember how it ends. I'm bad because I don't remember how it ends because it's been a while.
Because literally, like he's spoiler alert, guys.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert for a 30-year-old movie. But go ahead.
Yeah. Nah, because he literally like in the beginning they show him get stabbed in Vietnam, but then the rest of the movie is basically him in purgatory, and you know,
right.
Yeah. And then you see halfway through the movie that Macaulay Culkin and his son, they keep showing flashbacks of his son. He got hit by a car. So they show his son getting killed. And at the end of the movie, they show that he got killed in Vietnam. And you literally see a staircase, and then you see a light coming from the top of the staircase. And his father like, Dad, it's okay. And then Macaulay Culkin grabbed his father's hand and walked him up the ladder. And he go into heaven and the movie's over.
See,
and it ends with just him laying on in a helicopter in Vietnam and just leaving.
See, I remember that now because I saw that and I was like, this is like low key, this is better than the fucking Sixth Sense. It had a better, I thought it had a better ending than the Sixth Sense. The Sixth Sense is cool and it's got one of the great movie endings of all time. Like it's still like awesome, but like I like the Jacob's Ladder one more.
I think he definitely gets souped up. And Shyamalan, I love his movies, but to me, nothing can fuck with Unbreakable. The first one?
Unbreakable was great. Underrated for sure.
Fuck with that first Unbreakable. That shit was fucking heavy.
Underrated for sure. Roper, you have a favorite surprise movie ending?
Plot twist? I don't know. I can't even think. I'm not like a big plot twist guy. Like, I can't think of no crazy plot twist.
Saw 2.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was gonna say the first Saw. That's what it was.
The first Saw is a really good one too.
I was like, this fucking old man was in the fucking room. Wow.
Yeah, when he gets up and shit. Yo.
Yeah, that was the movie.
I like different. To me, I like Korean, like the Asian horror is where the plot twist like an hour in. It's not at the end.
Audition, that's his shit. He loves Audition. That's his.
Shout out to Takashi Miike, man. Amazing.
The Wailing. You ever see the movie Creepy?
No, I can't say I have.
That's a bugged out movie. Yeah, because they have this way of just like having a movie and then an hour in it just turns up like so incredibly like it's like like they just bring it to such a like disturbing level. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. I heard somebody say Old Boy. That's how I felt about Old Boy because
it's disturbing.
Like you go from him locked in the hotel room to finding out that he he fucked his daughter. Once again, sorry, spoiler warning for Old Boy.
That's a rough spoiler.
Sorry, my fault.
You might as well not watch the movie now, but no, that spoiler is. I mean that plot twist is crazy because it's like that whole like it's just rough, man. It's like he gets free, you're like, where'd he's free? What's he gonna do? He's not free. Like you know what I'm saying? And then it's like where he gets to this, you might as well kill himself. Like you know what I'm saying? Like once he gets to the end, it's like dude, your life is wrecked. Like
awful. Like such a great movie. Like everyone should watch it. Like even just for the scene where he eats the squid, because like the scene where he eats the squid is one of like that I still think about that. Like he like really ate a whole octopus like on camera.
I was just telling Fatboi about this food horror. I love food horror because I was just watching Napoleon Dynamite, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, this is a food horror. Like, it's like it. You ever seen Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh yeah, of course I have.
Like when you think about all the scenes, he drinks like defective milk that got like bleach in it, onions. When he works at the chicken factory, he has to drink those eggs and eat that sandwich that got flies on it.
Right.
Yeah, he couldn't catch a break.
He eats the tater tots and puts them in his pocket, and then they get squished in his pocket.
Classic.
Uncle Rico eating extremely rare beef every day and cutting it super weird. And like they do close-ups on the mouth when they're doing it too. It's food horror. Like, you know what I mean? It's super. I'm like, damn, this is
hard.
See,
that's a trippy movie.
That's why. See, okay. So I get what you're saying, and I see it, but tell me what you mean. Like, tell people what you mean when you say food horror, because I'm really intrigued by this now. What does that mean?
It like you're looking at it and it's disgusting. Like you're looking at like Napoleon and like
Mondo Burger.
You're looking at Kip. You're looking at Uncle Rico. They have these like weird little mouths and thin lips, and they're drinking and eating the weird, disgusting shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's zoomed in. It's disgusting. It's literally gross to look at. Like, he's drinking milk out of a glass jar.
That's disgusting by itself.
That's what I was.
That is, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's discolored. You know what I mean? And it's just like, but it's realistic. I watched a movie that was all food horror. It was like about these two roommates, and the one girl could eat a lot, and the other girl couldn't. So the one girl, like, you know, she chains her up, tortures her, and forces her to eat a bunch of food. And it's just like horrific. Like,
you hear this shit, man?
Yo, see, I'm looking the way I look right now because I've seen what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I don't remember movie names at all. I don't remember titles. Because I
there was
like that was like that, and then
chained up making her eat. What the fuck?
I mean, yo, I really wish I could remember what it was called. There's this other movie you made me think about that's kind of sort of on the same wave. It's this movie called Raw. You ever hear of this movie called Raw?
Yeah, I have,
Yo,
yes.
Sharif, have you seen Raw?
No, I never seen it. I gotta peep it.
So it's this movie about this woman. She goes to like a veterinary college or something. She's been like a lifelong vegetarian, maybe vegan, I forget, one of those two. She's like never eaten meat before, or either.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Watch that shit together.
Yeah, I wasn't
right.
I remember.
Right.
Big meat. I can not.
Whoa.
Wow.
No, you're talking
Not
about
like that.
That's a
Nah,
classic.
you're good.
Yeah, I remember.
No, it's all good, bro. It's all good. What's it called? But yeah, like, for anybody, everybody. Hey man, some people like to eat meat. It's all good. What's it called? It's all good. But yeah, for people listening who haven't heard of Raw before, it's a movie about a college student who eats I forget what, I think it's like rabbit meat or something, and she becomes a cannibal. She slowly but surely starts to become a cannibal and starts like drinking blood from the animals locked up, and she starts going after people. It's dope. People should watch it if you haven't seen it. Raw is tight.
Yeah, that shit is
very, very good.
Okay, so, cause see, now you said that. Let me ask you this. What's the most? I'm not even gonna say it ended. I'm gonna just say the overall film, because I'm sure this will bring out different directors that we all fuck with. What would you say is probably one or two of the most disturbing films you've ever seen? And literally, I just brought that up because going back to kind of like what you were saying about the Gandhi Loves Children with a lot of deep, dark subject matter. I want to know just like some of your favorite films that you kind of got that vibe from, also like movie wise.
Okay, so let me think. I have two. I want to make sure I can't think of another. All right, I got my two. So I got I got Lars von Trier's Antichrist is probably one of the more disturbing movies I've ever seen.
That the Willem Dafoe one?
Yes, when he was ass naked. Fucking
The first 10 minutes is just Willem Dafoe's penis.
Yeah, and actually no, it wasn't Willem Dafoe's. That was a stunt penis.
Wow.
That was a stunt penis.
He like, that's William Dafoe dick. He like, no, it was another dick, but William Dafoe dick was later in the dicks.
Yeah, nah.
Thank you for setting that record.
You're welcome. Nah. But no, like I was really into that movie at one point. So like I looked into it, and yeah, like that was I think they got like an actual like porn star to like come in and do the sex scenes for that part. So like in general, like I mean like we all know what, or well, not everybody knows what Antichrist is about, but like you got like the fox eating itself. You got Charlotte Gainsbourg cuts her clit off at the end of the movie. Really. Yeah, and so we got that, and then we got a fellow Jersey dude, Todd Solondz' Happiness is probably one of the more disturbing movies I've ever seen in my life. I
gotta peep Happiness. I never seen Happiness.
No, you don't. You don't gotta see Happiness.
God damn.
You don't gotta see. So I'm like I can't even say the type of shit that's the movie is not happy. Let's put it that way. It's not a happy movie. It's a very, very sad, depressing movie about people who live awful, awful lives and do awful things to children. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I definitely don't need to see that.
You don't need to see it.
Jeez, yeah.
It's like look it up later. Look it up later. I'm not going into detail. It's
I definitely don't want to know nothing else about that.
I put that up to you actually, brief.
I would say, that's I don't know if I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, that shit is OD.
You don't gotta. You're good. Don't spare yourself. Spare yourself.
Cannibal Holocaust. That's definitely up there, right?
Funny thing, I never liked that movie. You love that fucking movie.
That's a disgusting movie.
Yeah. I didn't.
It is.
To me, it's weird because like to me, movies like that, I never really liked movies that's just like sick and nasty for the to just be sick and nasty.
I love that.
To me, I like sick and nasty.
I like that type of shit.
Yeah, I like sick and nasty with like overall adult meaning and like something like fucking Gummo or something like fucking.
Shout out to Harmony Korine.
Yeah, words. Hell yeah, shout out to or even something like Kids. It's like disturbing and shit, but you can literally watch it and be like, yo,
like use a condom.
You can literally be like, yo, this is like real life shit that's going on and certain like. So Cannibal Holocaust is just like a nasty ass movie. It's not really like it's not a good film to me.
Tetsuo is a nasty movie. The Iron Man.
Tetsuo the Iron Man is amazing, bro. What a movie. That's a great choice.
That's a revolting movie. The worst one I ever seen was like I don't even know what it was called. It was like some Spanish movie, and it was an old Spanish dude. He had kidnapped a brother and sister, and like. At one point, the sister is standing above the brother's laying down flat. The sister's standing above his head, and she takes a shit right onto his teeth, and you just see it pop on. He
always bring up this booty ass movie.
You see it. You see it. This is the most messed up shit I ever seen. You see it pop onto the teeth. That was incredible. I'm like, wow, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
that was legitimately disgusting.
I mean that works. That's nasty because now you made me think about the bit in Zack and Miri Make a Porno where bro gets he gets shat on by I forget who, but yeah, like there's like a whole scene where he gets like shit all over his face. It's terrible.
Jeez,
comedies actually have a lot of discussion.
Of course.
You guys are sick gentlemen, and I love it. It's funny as shit.
That's what we're here for.
I'd say two for me that always stick into my brain is Bully, and it's probably from a few years back. Mother.
The Aronofsky movie.
Yeah. I love his movies too. He's another one of my favorite directors, or just like a creative level. I'm like, yo, the stories he tell, like, if I can do that musically, that should be it. Like, but and it's crazy because like that movie literally is not really no nasty scenes. It just like
yes, there are. There are nasty scenes in that movie.
Scenes, but like to me, the uncomfortable part for me was literally like how the dude was treating the female. he was treating her like terrible the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn, this dude not shit. And then fucking at the end, it's just like more hella people coming in the house and fucking like watch that shit. I've never seen that.
Yo, yeah,
That shit was crazy.
Like there's two scenes I want to talk about, but I'm afraid of spoiling because there's some yeah, like
spoiler.
Fine.
Spoiler.
So okay, so near the end, like she has a baby near the end of the movie, and like all the people that are in the house, like the baby is seen as like not her child, but like as like a creation that came from the man, because he's like a writer, and like all the people in the house are like fans of his, and they're there to like get his next book, and like the baby's supposed to be like a metaphor for his like, oh, like this is the book drop. So like they take the baby from her, and then they rip the baby apart and eat the baby, and you like watch them like do all that shit, and then
that's how the movie ends.
And then later there's a scene when Jennifer Lawrence is on the ground, and it's like a 45-second like single take of her just getting the shit beaten out of her, like maybe the most brutal movie beating I've ever seen in my life, and like it made me sick to my stomach. It was awful. Like you see her face, just like you see her get like black eyes, and like her lips start to they bust open, and it's awful. Like I've never seen anything like that in a movie in my life, and I was like, so yeah, Mother, it was terrible, bro. Like
crazy.
So yeah, like Mother is I hated that movie personally, but Mother is a really good choice for a disturbing movie. I love Aronofsky, but I really didn't like Mother. That was the first one of his where I was like,
yeah, it's funny because like I literally hated the writer character so much I didn't really like the movie. Like I hated the male lead that much. I'm like, damn, this dude and shit.
Yeah, it was just too much. Cause when the movie ended, I appreciated what they were trying to do. I'm not gonna get into the mechanics of it because it's too much, but like I appreciated the message he was trying to put forth, but it was just like I can put up with a lot when it comes to like a really disturbing and fucked up movie, but it just got to the point where I was like, this is just too much. It got me to where you were with like you needing there to be a meaning, but like even with the meaning, I was like, I don't need to watch this ever again. Like I don't need this in my life.
You're eating a fucking kid. You're like, yeah.
Like
it was. I felt about Elephant Man. I'm like, I'm never watching this again.
Which one? The David Lynch one?
Yeah.
I loved Elephant Man. I
love that movie too, but I'm like,
Lynch is the GOAT. Shout out to Lynch.
Also though,
yeah, shout out to Lynch.
Shout out to Flying Lotus. That movie is disgusting. Kuso.
Oh, Kuso. Yeah, yo. Oh, shout out to Lotus and shout out to Kuso. I love Kuso. That movie is
thing with that.
He was influenced by those type of movies we talk about.
Oh yeah.
In Society, since the end of Society. If you haven't seen that is disgusting.
Yeah, I gotta check out Society now because yeah, that's the second time you mentioned it.
It's like I don't know. You watch it, it's like that.
No, I'm gonna do it. Like I'll try anything once. I'm gonna try it.
Right.
So I got a couple more questions for you guys on the music tip, and I want to bring it to Roper because like obviously like you both have been making music for a while, and I just wanted to say that like Roper, just like you've like from like your start working with like the Underachievers and all the stuff that you've done with like YL and Sifu and Sharif and like the amazing work you did on the Navy Blue album, like those beats are just son, like you already know, like you've really been leveling up.
Navy Blue, that's one of my favorite artists right there. Like when I heard because I was already a big fan of his, I had heard a beat that Navy Blue did. Like it never came out. It was for an artist, and like he had just sent me his unreleased thing, and he had a Navy Blue beat on there, and I was like, "Yo, this is one of the craziest beats I ever heard." Like so, since then he was one of my favorite producers. So like sending him beats was like terrifying because he makes amazing beats. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah,
he don't even need my beats. So like they have to be really good. Like so that like making I worked like 9 months on a batch for him. Like you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, like I was scared.
Right. I can only imagine. And yeah, like of course you two worked on the Dreams of a Distant Journey beat together. That's a co-produce. Why am I forgetting the name? Yeah, whatever. So like that was so like you guys did that one together, and then you gave him Self Harm, which is like I if anybody listening hasn't heard Song of Sage Post Panic, you got to go do that. It's fucking amazing.
Hell yeah.
Really. really incredible piece of work.
Beautiful.
So yeah, like
That's enough to go.
what'd you say?
I said he got a Yasin Bey verse, so that's enough to go check it out right there. Like,
I mean, yeah, like you gotta like
not getting that anywhere else. Like
for real, yeah, especially not now. Like him and Denmark, Vesey are like the only two people recently I could think of who had Yasin verses. And then like he came out the woodwork for Doom when Doom passed.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like I guess I guess my question for you off of all of that, Roper, is just like how do you feel you've most improved as a producer from your early days to Gandhi Loves Children and beyond, really?
I would say like part of it is just like kind of like, just like relentless practicing. You know what I mean? Like I made 200 beats, more than 200 beats last month, like just to practice.
Jesus.
Just to try out like new avenues of like music, taking my different directions. But just like I feel like a big thing is just like checking ego, like, and you know what I'm saying, like. I feel like it helps to make a ridiculous amount of beats because everything has value based on inflation. So if I make 1,000 beats, now I'm not so attached to one. Like I don't know. It's just like putting in a ridiculous amount of work. I think just making a crazy amount of beats. Like I have so many projects coming out, like full projects with people. Like it's just a lot of just making a lot of beats all the time. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, like practice makes perfect. Obviously, you don't want to burn yourself out, but at the same time, like like moving at whatever pace makes you most comfortable. Like you're only gonna get better if you keep on like really like not just like working at it, but like really like getting down to it. Yeah, exactly. Like because like there is such a thing as bad practice, which I think people don't understand. Like there's bad practice.
Like to me, it's always like and super learning that like the preparation is key to the inspiration. So like if I'm super inspired, it don't matter if I'm not prepared to use the inspiration, it's gonna go to waste.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like always having a large amount of records I haven't used yet, digging a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm ready, and then recording them in before I'm inspired. Now when I'm inspired, I have all these things, all these tools at my disposal. You know what I mean? Preparation is super important. Like I learned to prepare myself for situations. Like if I'm going to a session, I have a lot of beats to play people. Stuff like that.
Right. And yeah, like you really can't go wrong because even if you show up with like a whole bunch of pre-mades, like if people don't like it, then you can just be like, okay, like this is like the base, and you can build from there.
It's like 9,000 more beats.
The
first song I ever did with Maxo, like he pulled up to the studio, and I showed him a crazy amount of beats, and then he was liking some of them, and I'm playing him a lot of beats, and then he would pick like he would say like, yo, stop on this one. I'm like, all right, word. I'm like, thanks, like fine, like you know what I'm saying, like, and then he'd be like, yo, change the beat, and I'm like, I just went through almost all of them. I barely got to change them to, but like I got to keep looking, and then it's like, all right, like you said, we found a piece of one. He's like, yo, build this up this way, like you know what I mean. So just like being prepared, I got loops, I got beats, I got drums. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And having the ego in check to say, okay, like that's your idea, let's try it. Like you think I should take this off? Okay, like you know what I'm saying? Like the song I got with Akai, Nebula, that's a song where it was a 2-part beat, and he said, yo, I don't want to rap on the other one. Just take that off. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're gonna kill the first one. That's fine with me. Like you know what I'm saying? Like. I'm not even trying to push the idea. Like, well, maybe if you, like a person like Akai, Sharif, like they have clear visions, like to trust. You know what I'm saying? So
right. And yeah, like being willing to work is like that's how magic is made for real. Yeah. And before I move on to the last question, Sharif, I could ask you the same. Like, how do you feel? Because like I mean, like you've been making music for at least the last 5 years, and you've really come so far over that time. So like, how do you feel you've improved most from like the mid 2010s to now?
Just I would say one of the main things is just kind of more just like the creating aspect. like I always look at I always look at it like a world we creating within the music. So that's why I'm like, even like we got Gandhi Loves Children, but we got 2 other projects that's done. I got a few other projects I'm working on and about to release with different producers. And I love just like within these, I fell in love with just the aspect of creating the world within music. Meaning like, we're going to literally create this album from the rollout to the photo shoot to the videos to how we're going to set up the interviews to everything matters. Like nothing can really just be done. Like on some like, all right, we're going to just like throw this out or like, that's why even like, I never really been a fan of just like throwing out loose songs. Cause I'm like, I'd rather just give a whole piece. I'd rather give a whole world to the audience to take in. And from that, you'll have pieces of the world that I love this piece of it. I love this piece of it. I like this piece of it. I like.
I feel like with like he'll build a world within a project like musically too. So like GLC is like a time capsule of the last few years. Yep. We have another project that it's more of a time capsule from when he's a kid to now. Like, you know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like it's more like his life as opposed to what everybody is dealing with. Like what the world is. It's more his life. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like those are 2 different worlds completely. They sound completely different. So it's just it's fun to do projects like he's saying. Yeah.
Right. That sounds great. And like and like being able to work and create these like atmospheres and these and it's like these worlds within worlds, like that's not an easy thing to do, and to do it well is like, and to like and for like you two to be able to build on these worlds that you're creating together, like that's one of the, and like that's another thing that I really love about like Gandhi Loves Children, not just as an album by itself, but as like a statement from you both, because it feels like you're in conversation with one another. It's not just like Sharif rapping on top of beats, you know, like it's like you guys feel, it feels like there's a dialogue happening between all the different songs, between you two.
Nah, definitely. And that's even kind of just like how our different processes is. So like him, like I said, once all of the songs was done, I gave it to him. He cut in different little samples he wanted, different beat drops, made it sequence together good. And kind of like me with the writing, like I have a process where like I'll listen to beats when I'm asleep. So like I might take 2 or 3 beats and listen to them like when I go to sleep for like 2 weeks. Just put them on repeat, sleep to them. And I'll wake up one day and just call him like, yo, I'm gonna make this about this, but it's gonna connect to this because I'm gonna write this here and write this here. And when it's done, he like, yeah, that shit was crazy. And I'm just like, yeah, like to me, I think the best idea should never be like forced. Like to me, like I never have to think about a video. I never have to think about the single. I never have to think like I like to just wake up like, oh shit, I'm gonna do this. Like, hey, and tell you in detail why I'm gonna do it and why I think it's gonna work. I never was a fan of like, yo, how about if we went to fucking Vegas, right? And then we did a video. I'm like, why the fuck would I do that when I could just shoot it in my backyard and it can still look crazy? Like,
right. And you can save yourself a whole bunch of money. Yeah. No. Totally. And like, and I think that's a pretty decent segue into this like last question that I have for you both. Like Gandhi Loves Children feels like it's a breakout or like a breakthrough project for you both, because you've both been working for a while, and you know, like you said before, you've really started to gain all this attention from people. Like y'all have done like more interviews that I can keep track of. Like you've been all over the place. So like it really feels like there's more eyes on you for this and for all your other stuff like than you've ever had before. So I guess like my last formal question for you is like, does Gandhi Loves Children feel like a breakout moment for you? And like, is that, and if it does, is that like, do you see that as like a good thing that's like pushing you, or like something that is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh no, I would say it's definitely a breakthrough moment for sure. And I definitely think it's a great thing because literally people who are tapping into that, they going back to his old beat tapes, some of his old music. some of my old music. And now that we got them, they only what I always say, once you get them, you can't lose them unless you just start making bullshit. So like now it's literally just like, yo, what's next coming from these two? But I kind of like how we promoted it, where it's kind of like everything I do don't have to be with him for people to care about it and for it to be dope. Everything he do don't have to be with me for people to care about it and for it to be dope. But people know when we get together, it's going to be some whole other shit than him working with somebody, me working with somebody. So it's just basically people like enjoying the ride of when we connect with each other. And they know like, all right, Sharif and Roper's together. I can't wait. Gandhi was dope. I can't wait for this next world that they gonna bring us into.
Yeah, I feel like, and I feel like when we were working on it, we knew it was gonna like be on some breakthrough shit. Like,
yeah, definitely.
And like, it's just it's a breakthrough album in mad ways. Like, it's like nobody can like. I feel like it's an album that no one else can make because it's very us. Like, we like this album is us. Like, so it's a breakthrough in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
On some like, now we're bleeding through. Like for real. Like, it's not just normal shit. It's not normal at all. Like, it's not normal music. You know what I mean? It's very personal to us. Even if it might not feel like it.
I kind of feel like I'm pretty sure when David Lynch made Blue Velvet, he was probably like, you know what? People might have slept on Eraserhead, but this shit,
this is the one. Yeah.
This shit, like, bro, what else you got in you? That shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. And then you know, like after Blue Velvet happened, they were all primed and ready for Mulholland Drive and Lost Highway and all that
totally
shit. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, right. Oh, I love that. So before we get out of here, I'd like to touch on a little trending movie news at the end, or like trending entertainment whatever news. And the talk about Worlds Within Worlds a little while ago made me think about Falcon and the Winter Soldier and just everything the MCU has had going on. So like, have y'all been paying attention to what has been happening in this new wave of the MCU between WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier? And do you care?
I think the superhero thing, that's not something like I don't think either of us are into at all. Like,
it's weird. I always was more of a fan of the comic books than the movies. Like on like the type of comic movies I always liked was shit like The Crow, the first the first Spawn movie, Sin City,
the Spawn series,
like
Sin City. Shout out to Sin City.
Yeah, like the Marvel shit is certain shit that connect with me. Like, I love the first Infinity Wars. I was like, God damn, this shit is like a perfect film. Like, as an overall movie, like good.
Movie's fire.
Yeah. But like, yeah, you gotta tap us in on everything that's going down with that.
Yeah. I just I didn't think about it before, but I also I like both the comics. I like both the comics and the movies. I also really, really like stuff like Sin City, and like the Preacher TV show they made off the comic was I wish it was a little better, because I really did love the Preacher comics. But the MCU is fun. I have a good time with it. I like to me the thing that's always been most appealing about it is just the fact that they managed to take the comic book connectivity and put it on the screen. Like, that was something that hadn't really been done to that extent. Because like people like Tarantino did that, right? Like Tarantino would have like the same brand. He would like make up his own brand names in the movies, and like the Apple cigarettes will show up in every single Tarantino movie. And like every once in a while there'll be like a random detail where like one like fucking Z-list character just shows up, you know? Like, so like I always appreciated stuff like that in movies, and I was always like, damn, like I wish somebody would do like an Avengers type thing. And then it happened, and I was like, wow, like it really just, I don't know. It's just
I feel like shit like The Watchmen is crazier. I like X-Men though.
I feel that. No, I feel that.
X-Men is Marvel or what, but
X-Men is Marvel. And like I feel like pretty much everybody loves X-Men. Like X-Men, like you can't go wrong with them. Like,
big ass.
What'd you say? No. Sorry.
Oh, Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, I feel like the new Wolverine movie was dope, X-23 and all that.
Logan was tight. Yeah.
Yeah, Logan.
Logan was tight.
That surprised me when they started killing people. I'm like, damn, they really killed people.
Yeah, that was what made Logan such a crazy movie, because like everybody wanted, you watch like the old X-Men movies and like Wolverine is like stabbing people, but like it doesn't look like he like dropped a bowl of tomato soup like it should have, and then like you pull up to Logan and they're ripping guts out and slashing jugulars, and it's like, whoa.
There was a lot of like weight and gravity to that movie. That's like, damn, this is heavy. This is heavy stuff. Like,
yeah, nah, I like that movie a lot. I agree. Well, I think like, thank you both. Like, this was like, we went for a while, and this was a lot of fun. Like,
definitely, bro. Thank you so much for having us. And definitely subscribe to my man channel, man, and support all of these. We got to get this shit on fucking channel 5, man. This is chill. We gotta syndicate this, baby. This is shit.
We're working on it. Yo, thank y'all. That means so much. Go cop Gandhi Loves Children. Go cop everything these guys do, man, because like they're really like, they're doing Jersey proud. So like really fucking like, thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far. And shout out to all the Black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.